Hello! Welcome to our Let's Play Hearts of Iron 3 as Italy, Episode 9. What happened last time? We stopped just as we declared war on the Soviet Union. So as you can see, we will be advancing through the Caucasus, thanks to our newly conquered territory in Turkey. And Germany has already advanced quite deeply into Russia, capturing kind of the Baltic and not a huge chunk, but a chunk of the Ukraine and Belarus. Over in East Asia, we've got plenty of new allies. New Zealand's been invaded, and Australia's nearly conquered. Yeah. Oh, my Hamilton, my own town, is now in Japanese hands. I don't think New Zealand will be able to last long. Australia's almost gone. Japan's doing pretty damn well in the Pacific. Just having a quick look through these, see if there's anything I need to do. The national Spain isn't joining us, and instead Germany's focusing on getting Persia into the Allies. I suppose will help. Yeah. Second Army's in reserve in Greece, waiting for reinforcements. Well, I've got the First and Third Army sitting on the Soviet border here. Third Army's kind of under strength. I believe it's only got 3 corps at the moment. But since, well, those troops there are out of supply, we won't be able to launch the offensive immediately. So we'll just take it slow. I'm fairly certain we can capture the Caucasus before Germany arrives, which will give us plenty of oil, which is good. Although, to be honest, we've already got Iraq and most of the Middle East, so we should be doing alright with oil. Got plenty of fuel. Our supply situation looks alright. Well, except for those ones that for some reason have to go across the Mediterranean. Where's this one going? Around. So we've got a convoy going from Bayonne to, was it Greece? Around Africa? That seems unnecessary, but we'll just let the AI do its thing. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? I can't find it. Okay, let's get going. Well, the Soviets are attacking us. It's probably wise considering that we didn't quite get the supplies there in time. But their attacks aren't doing that well. Ours are doing alright. I kind of don't want to spread my forces out too thinly or act too aggressively at the moment until I learn kind of the comparative strength of my forces compared to the Soviets. Like, if man for man they're much better than me, I'm going to play it very cautiously. If I can completely overpower them, I'll play it much more aggressively. But I have no idea what's the case so far. I mean, we bet off those attacks, but they were pretty weak. Supply situation's improving. And yes, we stuffed that up. We stuffed up the invasion of Turkey by letting Bulgaria grab the bit that we actually wanted. Which means that they are now sitting on our supply lines. But that won't be the end of the world. At least I hope it won't. 10 of our divisions, including our elite Alpine divisions, against one of theirs. I think there's only one way that's going to turn out. Okay, our armoured divisions are coming back. I sent them down to the Sinai Peninsula to get rid of a partisan uprising in the region. But they've done that, so they can come back now. So Germany's encircled some troops on the Romanian border there. I think that the Soviet forces are weak enough that I can afford to split up this corps. I can't. It's an odd situation. Like quantitatively, I know in qualitative terms, I'm not sure whether the Italians or the Soviets are better, but temporarily at least, we outnumber the Soviets, which is kind of an odd situation to be in a, historical sense. So I might as well take advantage of it while it lasts. And that's actually going to be a hard fight because we're attacking over a river and they've got, well, it looks like mountain troops and fairly mountainous terrain. Actually, the whole thing looks like pretty bad terrain. So it might be a hard slog, even though they've only got, well, they're severely outnumbered, but in this kind of terrain they can put up a fair bit of resistance. And we'll be moving slowly, so they will be able to recover their morale to a greater extent than I'd like. See, I outnumbered them hugely in that last battle, but our casualties were almost equal. Just because they were in a much better defensive position. Well, no, yeah, they were in a very good defensive position. But ultimately, there are so many holes in the line, they're not going to be able to stop me. I should get those guys attacking. Actually, let's just get everyone attacking. So we've managed to retain kind of one corps in each province, except for in the north. But that's kind of okay. And look, here come Soviet reinforcements. So the easy days of conquest might be getting behind us. Although I imagine when my tanks get here, they'll help a bit as well. I should move these bombers a bit nearer to the front. They do a bit more good, I think, up there. Same as these ones, we don't really need them in Greece. So it doesn't look like it, but that airbase is actually on the coastal, near the same province as the port. I keep clicking on the wrong bloody thing. No, the Soviets are entering the Great Patriotic War. Since myself and the Germans have driven so far into their territory, mostly the Germans, but I'm helping a little bit. I think this offensive is going to have to be quite, linear, as in just a slow advance over a broad front until my tanks arrive, and I'll have the speed to try something a bit trickier. Although even then, the terrain's going to hamper them a lot. They've almost reached Leningrad. Oh, the Soviets have managed to capture a port in Finland. Oh, they've got an armoured division down there. Doesn't seem to be doing them too much good. Well, my troops have a lot of anti-tank guns. There you go, we won, and we killed more of them than they killed of us. So that's pretty good, especially since we're fighting tanks. Just checking how far away the Second Army's reinforcements are. Yeah, so if I could get the Second Army out here, I could kind of leapfrog the corps over each other. Just get the offensives going a bit faster and have a bit high morale when we make these attacks. What am I doing here? Splitting them up. Okay. Fair enough, although reinforcements are coming. Well, actually, no, reinforcements are leaving. Apparently Germany's a greater threat. Well, we'll show them. Yeah, it actually looks like almost all of their forces in this region are leaving. Good old AI. Yep, still low on manpower. The tanks are import supplies, and that'll take a bit longer to get here. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. Alright, more offensives. Yep, attack across the river there. We'll leave the Alpine Corps in position for now. Maybe we should get them to support the attacks to the north. Yeah, that'll be right. By the looks of it, they're going to be charging into Tbilisi over a river, which isn't going to be an easy fight, so maybe best to let them keep their morale for now, not they wear themselves out. And I'm confident that Corps can overpower the Soviets in that sector. Okay, change my mind. Yep, they're taking a hammering. Sending my headquarters and one of my infantry divisions as reinforcements. we've actually launched a decent counterattack there. I mean, we're holding them back, but there's a couple of divisions involved. Okay, the divisions are quite worn down from the fighting so far. So even though we're losing our numerical advantage... Oh, we've captured Leningrad. That is excellent. So we're doing better than the Axis did historically, at least in that regard. Although I don't think our advance to Ukraine's gone quite as deep as it did in the first year of the war. Well, I suppose it's only September. So we've got a few months left before winter strikes. Winter gets really bad, I should say. Fall of Leningrad, but the struggle for the east continues. I'm tempted to attack here with there aren't very many troops. I kind of am a bit worried about how thin my forces are getting. I don't want to extend my line too long, just because I know the Soviets actually have a lot of troops nearby, because I keep seeing them, coming in and then leaving. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Actually get my fighters to do something. Yeah, you have to click on the enemy province if you want to attack them. So it's just been setting up on interdiction strikes just to damage the enemy's morale or organisation, which just help keep my kind of, I'm not sure you could call it a steamroller, but keep my advance going. Okay, my tanks are arriving slowly. That guy's still down in Jordan. Looks like most of my divisions there didn't attack. Oh no, I didn't order them to attack, that's why they didn't attack. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm just going to regroup that corps, because I can go back to having one corps per province now. Oh, Japan has conquered Australia. Actually, that is a fairly significant blow to the Allies. Like Japan, not Japan, Canada and Australia would have been the second and third most powerful powers in the Allies. And with Australia gone, that actually takes a fair bit of clout out of them and puts even more of the struggle onto Britain. And of course it frees up a lot of Japanese troops, I imagine. Okay, our tanks are all almost here, but the headquarters corps isn't, but we'll just order them to attack anyway. Looks like there won't be any fighting in Tbilisi after all. But, yeah. It's probably good. Even though I've got my Alpine troops there, rather not fight. Okay, I've got some garrison divisions nearby, or a garrison division nearby. So we can deal with the partisans here and just order them to do a loop and head back where they started. Cool, captured Tbilisi. Are those two on two different provinces? Because they're not in the same stack. It's not important, I suppose. Our generals do seem to be, at least comparable or better to the Soviets, which isn't surprising after the number of countries I've invaded so far. Actually, so far the past 2 years. Okay, another armoured division for the Second Army, which I think brings them up to 3. Just check that. No, 4. Still missing 2 infantry. No, 3 infantry divisions. And 1 more armoured division to come. Okay. Then once they have those, I'll send them back to the front. Well, not back to the front, I'll send them to the Caucasian front. I did fight in the invasion of Turkey, but I withdrew them after that. And if I was good, I might pull the Third Army out since it's under strength by a little bit, but honestly I don't think so. I think the front line's going to get kind of broader pretty soon, especially since it's looking fairly confident we'll be able to drive across and capture, what is it, Baku? Yeah. And after that we're going to be driving north across the length of the Caucasus, which will require, well, not really a lot of troops, but they'll be fighting over a broad front. Which means I'm probably going to want to have all of my frontline troops in the region. Although again, the Soviets seem to be withdrawing a lot of their soldiers, including the mountain troops who you'd think you'd want to stay here in the mountains. So I don't know, maybe we won't need that many. Still a while off yet, so I suppose we can wait and see. Almost reached Kursk, Stalino, Moscow. Well, by we, I mean the Germans. Oh, done right. Slow, steady wins the race. And we might advance. It has been pretty, well, I was going to say it has been pretty steady, but no, it's kind of stalled in the north here where the reinforcements are kind of piling up. And I'm just kind of taking the counterattacks. But other than that, it's pretty alright. I think our... oh, Afghanistan's joined us. That's, well, kind of awkward because they've got the Soviet Union on one side and British India on the other. And if either of them decides to invade, they're not going to be able to defend themselves, and they're not going to be able to do much to either of those countries anyway. But whatever, more the merrier. Oh yeah, Germany, you probably do not need help in Cherbourg now. I mean, you should since it's your territory. But there's no enemy forces there. Okay. I don't seem to be able to call our allies into this war, because it's Germany's war. Would have been nice to have Japan invading them from the other side. And Bulgaria could have helped as well. Really, you know what I should have done? I should have just declared a limited war and just fought them all by myself. But I don't know. To be honest, it just didn't occur to me at the time. I don't think they're even trying with those counterattacks anymore. Okay, our tanks are almost in the area. Which means we have to figure out what I actually want to do with them soon. I'm actually starting to think that in qualitative terms I'm actually fairly equal with the Soviets. Their tanks don't seem to be doing much good, at least in terms of infantry. I think I'm only winning because of the numerical advantage I have. And I mean, just look when we click on the battle screen next time, you'll see that the organisation values of the two forces are fairly equal, at least at the outset, which suggests that they are actually, well, they're equally equipped, they're probably equally, you know, doctrinally sound and whatnot. Oh no, sorry, they're equally doctrinally sound. See, there you go, they're a little bit below, but we've been fighting for a while. So yeah, in terms of like doctrine and training, they're about the same as us, so you'd kind of assume we've got the same equipment as well, or at least similar. Alright, they're halfway to surrendering, which means I should probably stop trying to increase their threat so much as disrupting their national unity, just to make them surrender a bit quicker. It's all about doing the same as Britain, but no. Well, they're almost halfway surrendering as well. And New Zealand's 64% to surrendered. Afghanistan's not doing much of anything. Yeah, the entire North Island's been conquered. But luckily Cook Strait's providing a bit of a barrier for the New Zealanders. I actually think our manpower is slowly increasing despite like the losses we're taking in this fight with the Soviets. It's going to bode well for the future, although winter's still coming. Just launching. Well, I suppose it can be a proper attack, but it's more of a spoiling attack. Because the offensive there, or I suppose counter-attack's a better word for it, actually seems to be doing pretty well. We've lost the. Oh, we had some partisans prop up and liberate parts of Somalia for us. But they're dead now, thanks to the British Army. Oh, we lost that battle. Bugger. Well, I think it's not going to matter too much. We're going to have a well-rested Alpine Corps on the same side of the river, and they'll be attacked from 3 directions at once, if they manage to get into that province. So we should be able to do it right, and it won't be too problematic getting it back. Probably about time to start building some battleships. Yeah. Ships for the Navy, they take so long to build, you've got to be thinking, you know, at least a campaign ahead. I figure after the Soviets are beaten, which I'm optimistic will be fairly soon. We've got our tanks that have arrived. Yep, drive straight through the Baku. Doesn't look like there's anything in your way. Just leave some behind as kind of rear guards to prevent what happened in Turkey, where they all drove through, but were then cut off. Just kind of have our infantry move up slowly behind. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait till they get supplies before I can attack. I'm just going to let those soldiers kind of recover organisation, and then they'll be using the counter-attack on Beloti. Man, our tanks move so much faster than the infantry. We managed to surround the garrison division there, which doesn't mean much for the outcome of the war, but it's always good to just take some soldiers out completely. And another one of their attacks are actually doing alright. I'm gonna pull back, I think. I mean, I'd rather keep the line intact and lose that province than have them retreat somewhere strange and have a gap pop up in my lines. It's not Baku, it's Baki. Baki. I think it probably is Baku, but I'm guessing Baki is the local name for it. Possibly not even local, possibly the Russian name for it. Alright, well apparently that division actually managed to beat off the Soviets all by itself, so counter-attack planning is at an end. Lost the Battle of Gokay. Where's Gokay? There. Well, we only had a headquarters division there, so that explains that. Yeah, I'm thinking the days of early advances in this part of the world is going. We've reached the mountains and they've got a lot more soldiers in the area, it looks like. But over on the eastern side here, we're still doing alright. Although, to be honest, my forces are going to have to be spread pretty thin. Just to maintain the front line, but we'll manage. Sure, we'll manage. And our armour division were defeated by 2 infantry divisions there. But I see an encirclement opportunity here. we have 3 divisions. It's not bad. And it's also going to help shorten the front. So yep. Encirclement, go. Attacked in the front by an armoured division and in the rear by 2 infantry divisions. And they're exhausted from all the previous combat. Those guys are not going to stand for long. I think it's fairly safe to say. The morale's not going to improve while we don't have supplies. But I assume they'll get them soon enough. I mean, everybody else here does. I believe our forces are spread so that all the Soviet forces in that pocket will be in those other kind of the 2 provinces they're in Arctic, which they're about to capture. Which means they should be fairly easy to conquer. There you go. So, and actually no, we're about to capture Yevlak, so it'll all be in either Akti or Kharkiv or whatever it is. I can't quite read under the unit marker. Yeah, screw that, let's just all attack this one province. Might as well grab them all, you know, now. Okay, we lost Arkti, but we immediately won the battle there. Well, that was American. Well, November 1941, I imagine Japan has just attacked Pearl Harbor. So we are now at war with the United States. I'll just finish this encirclement. I mean, that does not immediately affect me at all. Except that I now have convoys to sink. Wait, were they sinking my convoys or I sinking theirs? I was not paying attention. Cool, that pocket's almost eliminated. Just got to capture that one province and then the last division will surrender. Hey, the Germans have almost, united their front with us. They're actually getting really bloody close to Stalingrad. Well, maybe not close, but, within the point that a decent breakthrough could reach it. Which means I should probably try and hurry up. Because I've kind of got to capture, if I can capture Astrakhan, I can kind of share parts of Siberia with Germany when the Soviets surrender. But if they get there first, I'm kind of going to be stuck with the Caucasus. It's not that, the Caucasus are pretty bloody valuable, but, bits of Siberia are also nice. Infantry for the Second Army. That corps can't really attack yet, but I'll just order them into that province anyway. And those guys will hopefully be able to attack. Take that province. And if my armoured soldiers take that one, we've managed a decent advance there. It looks like it's going to happen. Yep, armoured troops have the advantage. That attack's not going too well, but I imagine it's going to turn around once my Alpine troops get into the battle. My armoured troops there don't have very much organisation, but they managed to win the battle, which is the main thing. They just might not be able to defend against counterattacks. Seems the Soviets aren't going to capture that province that's not defended by my soldiers. Which is interesting, but I figure I can hold on to it and just let my soldiers recover the organisation. It's all good. Kind of the best of both worlds really when you think about it. Second Army only has 2 more infantry divisions and they're back at full strength. So hopefully we'll be able to get them over here soon. Although our forces aren't spread that thin. But they're not strong enough to advance on kind of the west, but we're pushing through on the east. So I reckon that's okay. I mean, at least we can work with that. think we might have fallen a bit behind. We were just under research in 1940 techs, and it's kind of the start of 1942. So we'll probably be getting them kind of mid-1942. It's just only 2.5 years behind now. See, now this is ambitious. I've got a gap. No, I'm not going to go straight for Astrakhan. I'm going to try a larger second encirclement here. If we can capture Grozny and get our infantry into Bosroy, that would be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisions surrounded. If we could do it quickly, because it looks like they're actually pulling out of the area. Just launching these attacks mainly to try and pin down the Soviet troops in the area. Because while they're fighting, they can't really leave. It gives a chance for my tanks to get around behind them. Where's Moscow? Moscow? No. Oh, right on the front lines. Oh, it is now December. Oh, I forgot to look whether that was out of theirs again. I think it said Eastern Atlantic. Oh, I do have a few. Actually, I think I've got quite a few convoys in there, so it's probably one of mine the Americans are sinking. Which means the American Navy's now probably operating out of Britain as well. Oh well, I've got 3 battleships on the way. I'm sure they can take both the Royal Navy and the US Navy. No worries. Oh, I forgot to look again. Bugger. It looks like we'll keep. Brazil's joined the Allies, who are of course our enemies. Oh, we can attempt to kill Mexico. Did that work? Government overthrown. Excellent. So now, where's Mexico? Mexico... Well, it's fairly in the centre, but we took it way away from the United States. Or the Allies, I should say. And if you notice there, I am the highest threat against Mexico. Which is definitely interesting. I figure I no longer need to send spies there. We can just leave them for kind of harassing Britain in the Soviet Union, since I no longer have tons of them like I used to. This encirclement seems to have ground down in the Battle for Grozny. Oh no, we're making progress still. Kind of looks like there's only 4 or so divisions left in the pocket. still don't have much in their morale. They must only be barely getting supplies. Which is kind of worrying, but everything's going alright so far. Yeah, they finally took that province. So we'll just let them hold it for a bit since our forces aren't really willing to counterattack anyway. Okay, just gotta get into Grozny. And well, soon you're going to have the infantry, or the Alpine troops actually, attacking to help you all out. So Grozny should fall pretty soon. There you go. Now second encirclement. What's that, 4 divisions? Just wait till that armoured division's actually in Makachkala. And once they're in there, I'll be able to complete the encirclement. Just because otherwise I'd retreat to there since I don't have any forces there and I'd have to chase them around. The Soviets have launched a counter-attack, which seems to be slowly gaining ground. I'm sure we'll be fine. Cool, well now that the second army's intact, they'll be coming through to help out. That encirclement's almost complete. Well, I say almost complete, it's basically complete. The Soviet forces are retreating towards each other. But as we capture the provinces, we'll kind of defeat the Soviets in detail. You see they're retreating into whatever that place was called, Machkach Valley or whatever. So once we get a division into there, they'll all surrender and it should be great. And the forces in Grozny are under attack, which is less than ideal. But I've got a whole infantry corps sitting right behind them, so they can help out just a little bit. And there you go. That pocket has been eliminated. Japan's invaded. Oh! When did that happen? Wow, Japan has suddenly grabbed a whole heap of India. And then the Philippines. How are they going against the Americans? Americans still hold Hawaii. Japan have captured a few islands around here. But the Americans have actually managed to recapture some things. In the Guadalcanals there. I think that was around Rabual. Oh, and the Americans have landed in Well, I suppose it's Normandy. Well, I reckon we're going to have to leave it here. I have no idea when the next video is going to go up because my internet is still being kind of shit. I mean, the last video took me a day and a half to upload, so that was kind of painful. But I will see you all next time.